Hello, team. Hello, profitable personal trainers, wherever you might be watching this. My name is David, and today I'm going to be going to a training that I think you're going to enjoy. This particular session is on the basically, we're going to show you our roadmap. This is our roadmap, which we use to guide and instruct personal trainers on how to get to 5 to 7K months. Okay, that's what we're going to be focused on in this session. And I think one of the biggest problems that we're going to address today, I'll come back to that. Oh, by the way, if you want a copy of this roadmap, just comment the word roadmap below. We'll send it to you. And this will be a really important tool in getting clear and focused about what you need to do to grow your business. So just comment the word roadmap below and we'll send it to you. And there's another video that I've done with it that will go really well. So the reason for this training, guys, is one of the biggest problems that Craig and I at Velocity that we encounter, we talk at the moment and we have done to a lot of personal trainers. We've had the fortune of working with hundreds of trainers. And one of the biggest problems consistently is that they don't know what to focus on, right? They don't know what I should be doing at the moment in order to grow my business and get the outcome that I want. And so that's a problem in itself. But beyond that, what happens is that because I'm not sure, I end up doing loads of stuff. I end up doing multiple things, like I'm trying to spin multiple plates. And that leads to another problem in itself. Because then I end up a bit overwhelmed because I'm thinking, shit, what should I wake up and do today? Then because I'm trying to do so much at once, I never really do anything that well. And I don't take everything through to completion. I don't fully implement and get a task and kind of get a system fully built in and properly working in my business. So I end up with a whole bunch of stuff that's kind of working okay, but could be better. And it doesn't really leave me feeling very satiated in terms of my business development. So our approach, if we come back to this roadmap, is that if we can use this, and I'm going to tell you how to, just move out of the way at the top there. I'm going to show you how to interpret this and understand it. And then if you use this tool correctly, it'll absolutely help you gain this level of focus and this level of get the blinkers up. So I know exactly what I need to focus on. That's going to elevate me through income levels, as well as the number of clients I've got, and as well as the results that I'm getting, and how proud I feel of my business. So just comment the word roadmap. If you're jumping in a little late, we'll send a copy of this to you. Isadora will get that to you straight away. And again, if you combine it with what I'm about to teach you, it's going to be a hugely important tool in your arsenal of growing a successful business. Okay, cool. So glad you're here with me. My name's David. If you don't know, I run Velocity with my best mate Craig. We help trainers scale to 5 to 7K months consistently. And in so doing, growing a successful business. So comment the word roadmap. Let's get into it. Okay, so what I need to do first is explain the anatomy of the roadmap, because there's quite a lot in here. The first thing we're going to do is pay attention to the top 4 categories. We've got attract, convert, serve, and systemize. So basically, we believe that in order to grow and build and run a successful business, you have to be able to attract the right kind of person, the right kind of lead to you, or go and be able to identify them, go and find them. We then need to be able to nurture that lead into a prospect who actually has we have a chance of an opportunity to sell and bring them on board. So we have to be able to convert leads and prospects into clients in the right way, in a professional way that really leaves a long-lasting impression, that sets them up to get great experience and results, and sets us up to serve them in the right way. And the serving is all about the service delivery component of what we do as personal trainers to deliver a world-class experience that keeps people sticking around, getting great results, and referring their friends and family to us. And then finally, Systemize. Systemize is about getting organized. It's about being on top of your shit. It's about having processes and checklists and things that you do that you don't really have to think about so much. But if you follow like a system, like a lever on a machine, if you just turn it, things are going to happen. And things are going to happen right. And it's going to mean the business will run really well. Because at the end of the day, guys, if you're just dropping in now, by the way, and you want a copy of this roadmap, comment roadmap below and we'll send it to you. Because at the end of the day, what good is running a business that generates a lot of money if you're fucking stressed all the time and you can't balance the meaningful stuff in life, like relationships and experiences that you want to have? If your business doesn't serve you, it's not really a business. It's just a massive suck on your time and energy and your love, and your passion. And you'll end up resenting it. So yes, you'll hear us talk about clients and money and systems and these kind of things, but we've got to be able to strike the balance between the workload that we have in front of us right now and the enjoyment that you're going to get out of having a business that does these things. Cool. So we've got the four categories. Now I'm just going to go down the left hand side to explain the money. You're also going to see these animals. So just a side note, I'm going to start at the top here actually. Our company's called Velocity, and one of the simple reasons why we did that is because we believe that we believe in having a target and a focus to aim for, and then we believe that our journey towards achieving that target is the kind of the thing itself. But we believe in speed in a straight line. So we want to try and get your line, your direction to achieving your goal and building your business as direct as possible. And that means building velocity. Okay, and that's kind of where we got it from. So what we did with we used this structure to track and measure the progress that our clients are making. And no, it's not all about money, but money's the thing that we can measure. And we see money as the applause that your clients give you for delivering a world-class experience and getting great results, long-lasting results. So if you're doing that, if you're providing amazing experience and you're delivering results, then they'll pay you and keep paying you, which means your income will grow. So we see it as an outcome rather than a main directive. Okay, so cool. So we kind of made these categories. Now we had some fun and we said, well, the cheetah is the fastest land mammal. We're kind of all about speed in a straight line towards the predetermined objective. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's lay in the 7K. That's where we want to get you to. That's like epic. Let's earn 7K a month in 4 or 5 days a week, right? Of really, really balanced, really controlled days. Let's get you there, and that's where we want to work to. And then we kind of scaled back, and we found animals of decreasing land speed. We thought, okay, wildebeest, hare, kangaroo, coyote, hyena, and the rabbit. The rabbit. So we had some fun with that, and that's how we classify. So once you've hit, say, 2K 3 months consecutively, we know that you're solid at 2K. That means you're a hyena. If you're 4, it's a kangaroo. 6, it's a wildebeest. And then obviously we're working towards that infamous cheetah. Okay, right. So now we have the left, we have the top, we have the X, we have the Y. Now it's about kind of the boxes in between. So what we do is we actually start down in the bottom right, and we say, right, do we have the necessary systems in place, the kind of fundamental structure on which we can build? Let me just jump out of this for a second, because here's a metaphor. I'm not a construction engineering guy, but if you think about how you build a house or even like any kind of building, first you have to lay your roots. You have to go down first. And if you're going to build a big building, build a big house, you have to go down deep, right? To build the solid enough foundation so that that building can stand the test of time and it can be hit, it can be challenged with all sorts of different forces. And just like with houses, your business is the same. How big your business becomes, how many clients you can serve, how well you can serve them, and how much money you can earn will directly be proportional to how solid and deep and rooted your foundations are. And that's what we mean by Systemize, and kind of the things that we put in place for trainers and the things we want to help you put in place as well. So that's why we often start at the bottom right. It's the Systemize column. And again, we're at the bottom right because I'm assuming here we might be at the beginning. Now, of course, there's a question here where if you're watching this and maybe you're already at 3 or 4K, but you're kind of like you're in need of some improvement, we would still come down to this bottom row and we would still make sure that you've got all of these key systems in place and that you have the understanding and the application to attract leads, convert them into prospects and clients, serve those people for an amazing experience, for world-class results, and then systemize the whole process so that you can do it in your sleep. Okay, that's kind of the idea. So we need to start on the right. And then we need to ask the question, right, well, in terms of service, do you have let's just get that out of the way. That was a very wild stroke. Do you have an offer that when you describe what you do and what you've got to prospects, do they go like, oh my God, that's amazing, sign me up, that's incredible, that's exactly what I need? Or do they look at it and they go, sounds good, let me have a think about it? So that's what we need to do first. We need to establish an offer where you present it, you can describe it or show it on a slide deck, and they're gawking, right? We then need a model that works. And the model is actually how the deliverables, how you actually kind of piece what you do together, and how it interacts with each other, each of the different components that it gets a result. So do we have a great way of delivering epic sessions that are full of incredible top-class coaching with resources that back up the gathering of education that your clients need and want? Do we have support systems, accountability systems? Are we able to track and measure people's results and show them and display them in good ways? Do we have ways to create a community and bring people together? This is what we mean by the model. And then crucially, we need a review process. So we're going to make sure that we've got this review process where periodically we can step back from the kind of day-to-day, week-to-week flow with our clients and ask them and say, how's it going? Are we like, based on where we came, where we started, are we in the right place now? Are we still heading in the right direction? What more can I do as a coach to help you? Now we have a full set of questions that you follow and a script that you go inside the program. But what we do is we teach our clients to periodically check with their clients that they're doing a good job, and it makes sure that you're still walking side by side on a journey. Because if you don't check in and you kind of take the time to seriously and deliberately and intentionally check in with your client as to whether you're still kind of heading in the right direction and you're still doing all that you can drift. And it's what happens like when a client sort of sends you that text out of the blue and they say, I'm going to go try something else. I'm going to go out on my own. And often we're left thinking, what the fuck happened? But with that review process in place, we can actually get a fix on, we can get our hands on what's actually happening. So that's the review process. Now let's just come back up again, zoom out. Remember, we're starting at the bottom section because even if you're maybe at 3, 4, 5K, we need to make sure these systems are in place, because it basically means if we're kind of at a high level, we don't have that foundation, we stand a risk at things crumbling down. We are not as solid as we might like to be at that 3, 4, 5K model, so we need to come at that level. So we need to come down and make sure we got the systems. If you're at like 1, 2, 3, this is exactly where you need to be. We need to be at this bottom row, mastering each of these projects and each of these sections. So now we're on to kind of the convert stage. We're working right to left. So okay, cool. We've got the service down. We're really happy. We've got our offer, we've got our model, and we've got the process to the review process to check in with our clients. We now need a way that we can convert. So this one, from trust to try, is essentially the way that we can, we've built trust with prospects, whether it's in your facility, whether it's on online through messaging. We've got to a point where our prospects trust us. They come to us ask questions, they listen to us when we talk to them, and we're like, cool, I need to get them into a consult so I can actually sell. And this is actually an art, right? And it's art and it's a skill to be able to do that in a really empathetic and sympathetic way, so you don't feel like you're selling, but in the same breath, be able to have enough conviction and confidence to get them sat down with you, to get them listening, so that you can actually pitch your solution to their health and fitness problems. That's a skill. That's something that we work on. And then we need a consultation model. So we're going to say like, okay, now I've sat down with them, what does my process look like? You do need a process. You need a script to give you structure in how you sell. Do you want to be a robot? No, you don't want to be a robot. Do you want to be stiff and just say the same shit every time? No, of course you don't. But you do need a framework in which to sell. Selling, again, there's a lot of psychology, a lot of science in selling, and you've got to be harnessing that. And that means that we need a structure to follow. So if you're the kind of person who's winging it and you're like, I kind of just sit down and I chat to them and I listen and I don't really know what I do, but it kind of works. I would propose to you that we need to do some work, because actually, even if you're doing a good job right now, which is great, we could do a lot better by adding that structure in. So that could be something that you need to focus on. And then we need a way to basically onboard our clients in a quick, simple, streamlined way. And this is an interesting point here, because on onboarding, the reason why we call it basic, because we've got much more advanced onboarding systems that we tell trainers to install and implement in their business. When you're starting out and you're kind of 0 to 3, like, you don't need to make that elaborate. You could spend ages on your onboarding, like tweaking and refining and creating incredible automations and setting up new websites and video, all this fancy stuff. And at the end of the day, it doesn't make a huge difference to whether or not your client's going to stick around with you for long. It does have an impact, don't get me wrong. But when we're doing an 80-20 analysis and asking ourselves, what's the biggest thing that's going to have, what's the single thing that's going to have the biggest impact on my client sticking with me for a good period of time, good client lifetime value, and them getting results? It's not the onboarding journey. It's not the first thing we go to. We want to focus on your model. We want to focus on your review process and how you're communicating and coaching clients. If we can master that, then that's going to have a much bigger impact sooner than your onboarding journey is. Yes, we will go back and work on it, but it's about ordering things, right? Come back to that idea that I mentioned at the beginning. If you're trying to do all this stuff at once, you're kind of spinning loads of plates and you're sort of doing a half-assed job of a lot of stuff, you end up with a lot of things, but none of it really, you're really that proud of. None of it you're really that excited by. And the problem with that is that we end up with, we lack conviction because we don't fully commit and believe in the stuff that we do. Whereas if we pick one thing, we do it really, really well, and we get it working and we're confident in it, we can speak with confidence about that system. And as you stack project and system upon project upon system, and we keep doing stuff one by one, we end up building our confidence and building our conviction really, really well. So that's how we think about things. And then finally, let's just go through Attract. So three things here. The people profile is about understanding the individual to whom you're selling, profiling them as a person. Because the basic thing here is that if you can understand your individual better than they can themselves, in respect of the goals they've got, the dreams they have, and the aspirations that they think of, and then the problems, the struggles, and the pain points that they suffer from, if we can know them and verbalize and articulate them as good, if not better than they can, they will trust you because they will listen to you talk and they will say, this person really knows me. He gets me. He understands. And then what is naturally going to happen, you'll know when you've done this right, is they'll then lean in and ask you and say, okay, David, what do I do? What's the next step for me? That's the moment you know you've built trust and you know that you've connected with that individual because you understand them. And you have to work really, really hard to sympathize with that individual. Empathy is, if possible, if you've been there yourself and you can genuinely relate to that situation because you've been on your own journey. Many trainers have been through great journeys that they can lean in and connect on with their clients. But showing sympathy at that level is super important. So what we would focus on here is if you're struggling to generate leads and turn those leads into good prospects, this is likely going to be one of the things that you need to focus on. The next piece here is about maximizing your network. This part here is about if you don't really know where to go and you don't know, okay, where do I get leads from? I don't know where I go. One of the best hacks that I can offer you is to lean on the people that already know and like you for business or even for referral for business. There are more people in your network, in your circle right now that can help you than you currently realize or are taking advantage of. So there's loads of different strategies that we've got, but one good example is most people don't take advantage of their Facebook friends list enough. These are people who know and like you or have known and liked you at some stage. And sure, there might be the odd people that you've fallen out with over the time, but you wouldn't message them. And we would reach out to those people and with a specific script that might read or sound something like this. You might say, hey, my name's David. Oh, not my name's David. Hi, it's David. It's been a while since we caught up. You would insert a little personable comment and you would say, listen, I've just launched or relaunched or whatever my personal training business. This is what I do. This is where I'm based. I'm currently offering this free thing. And you often give some free value out, some free sessions, free program, a free review session, free this, free that. And I'm looking to help as many people in the local area as I possibly can. Do you know anyone that you think might benefit from something like this? So you're not asking them, but you're asking them if they know people. And most people, I think, say who have been on Facebook. Facebook's been around for a little while now. So most people have between 500 and 1,000 friends. And if you were to send, 25, 50 messages out that sound a bit like that every single day for the next month, I guarantee you will end up with some prospects. And that's the type of stuff that people aren't doing enough of these days. That's about maximizing your current network. You don't need to go and get new people. They're probably already in your circle. And then being able to run the best personal training experience for free as a glimpse into what it's like for people to work with you. And essentially, I want you to take the Netflix model here. So Netflix, the way they get clients is that they say, hey, have a month trial for free. Right? There's no obligation. They obviously give you a card, so there's some sales tactics involved. You have to give your card details over, but they say, come and try it for free. And what you do over the course of that month is you start to dive in. You go and you look at the different categories, the genres of film and TV show. You look at documentaries. You watch a couple of films. You binge a TV series, and you basically find whatever's tickling your fancy, whatever's kind of scratching your itch in that moment, whatever you're into, and you think, oh, this is really good because you find what works for you. It's what we need to do in a personal training environment. There's so much we can do for clients. There's so many different features of training and the benefits that they provide. And until you get to know an individual and what their real pain points, struggles, and frustrations are, we don't know which buttons to press. But if we can earn and build some rapport and some trust and get them in to spend some time with us, and I bet listening to this now, you probably resonate with this, that once you've got to know someone, you've had a chance to spend some time with them, you're like, yeah, I know, I can help them. But it's hard to articulate that before until I really know them as a human and understand all those things I talked about earlier. So designing the perfect personal training experience, as it says in the attract component of the roadmap, is the final piece of the puzzle of being able to attract leads and prospects to us and be able to provide them with something that makes them really interested in what we do. By the way, if you just jumped in, if you want a copy of this, obviously you can rewind and kind of go back to the start. Just comment the word roadmap below and we'll get this roadmap to you. And this training goes along with it beautifully to help you understand what you need to do to lay these foundations. So now we're like, okay, cool. I've at this level, remember we're down here, we're just making sure you've got the foundations. This is like getting you to regular, consistent 3K months. We've got some projects that you could do which are going to systemize your business. If you're all over the place, if you've got no process, if you've not documented anything, if you don't keep track of your leads, your clients, if you don't have checklists and processes integrated across the board, Systemize is probably your focus. If you don't feel proud and have strong conviction about what you do and the way you serve, and you feel you need to actually do a better job for your clients, we need to focus on the serve column. If you're getting lots of prospects in, but you're not really converting and you're just seeing a lot of people leave without actually taking action and going away to think about it, we need to work on your conversion process because you're doing a great job to get them there, but we're not getting them over the line. And finally, if we're not actually attracting enough leads in the first place, if you're not having enough conversations on a daily basis, we've got to work on the attract column. And basically what happens is that as we get better and better at each component, we just start working our way up through the levels. So once we've mastered all of these bottom sections and we've got all of these things I've explained over the last 15 minutes nailed down to a T, we just elevate up to the next level. And we start working more on referrals. We bring a social media game plan in. Let's just get that thing out of the way. LNT systems, more ways that we can use to nurture prospects, right? That are really efficient and that work when we're not working. And then we need to strengthen our sales pipeline. So prospects come already qualified. We need to get good at handling objections with advanced negotiation skills. And then we start working on advanced onboarding. We need to upgrade your offer so that actually we can sell at a higher price point. We serve at a higher level, and then we start marketing internally to our clients so that we can keep them connected to us. Because as we grow and we get more clients, logically, you become more detached. Yeah, if everyone only ever had 5 clients, our relationships would be incredible. But as you go to 25 and 35 and 45, you've got to do a better job on the marketing internally to your business to stay connected to your client base. And then the perfect week, we need to get really clear that as we get busier and we have more appointments flopping into our diary, we need to make sure we're organized so we don't become overwhelmed and swamped with all of the different things that we have to manage running a business as a single person. Then we need to think about raising prices. Okay, we raise prices in a systematic way, and it obviously needs to be respected across the business full spectrum. And then advanced finances. This is making sure now we're making some money. We're at the kind of 3, 4, 5K. We need to be making sure that we manage our money correctly so we don't make any tax boo-boos. I've definitely been there, and we want to make sure you don't do the same. And we need to make sure we're putting money away. We're saving money, putting money to one side. We're investing money back in ourselves. We've got a pension, and we've got all these things which many people just don't really pay attention to. So we've got to make sure you're taking care of your money. And then we come to the top level, and obviously that's when we really start getting advanced with everything that you're doing for your business. So listen, I'm going to wrap this training up now because, again, we like to keep these fairly snappy, but I really hope this has been helpful. So if you followed me now, I think there's a few people still with me to the end. I'd love it, appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up or just let me know if that was helpful, and if so, how and why. And just give us a like on the video. That would really appreciate it. Ultimately, we made this group. It's free. All the stuff in here is free. So we hope you can just absorb as much as you can and need to, and that we're really helping you in the growth of your business. If you want to work with us to grow your business 5 and upwards of 7K months, just drop us a message, just reach out and say, hey, just love some help, let's have a chat, and we'll talk to you. No sales pitch initially, it's just a case of our first step is having a conversation. So if you do want some help, don't be shy, we don't bite. We'd love to help you. So my name's David, I run Velocity with my business partner and best mate Craig. We'll see you again really soon in another video. Bye for now.